they say that imitation is the sincerest form of plagiarism. And there is a house at 920 Saskatchewan Crescent that isn't exactly, but it was built, I think, 60 or 70 years ago. And so it's a rectangular house, easily built, and to make the windows look bigger, we put shutters on the sides of the windows there. And
you can guarantee the other house doesn't have R60 in the walls, though.
yeah, you're correct. Yeah. So when we built in 1992, this was the best insulated house in the world. This particular house we're in now, I think, is the best insulated house in the world. It's got R110 in the attic, apparently. The installers, I can't remember where he said it went up to here or something like this with and they used cellulose insulation, which I think of all the insulations is the most benign. In our house, we have about 16,000 pounds of cellulose insulation.
How do you baffle those?
What?
How do you put baffles in to protect your inlets, your sockets?
Yeah, it was done in a fairly conventional way. You have those wax cardboard pieces that go in, and ventilation from the soffit goes up into the
When it says that the basement floor has an R35, what,
yeah.
is that rigid insulation?
No, this is, we used a wooden floor in the basement. It's a 2x10 joist, and there's a crawl space beneath it. And so the 2x10s are filled with cellulose. So that's where we got that done. And the windows in our house are very similar to here. These are triple glazed. They have two low emissivity coatings. They have argon gas in each one of the layers. And separating the windows is what they call a spacer bar. It's the little black piece there. And it's non-metallic, so there's less heat conduction. And in this house as well, the windows are hinged as opposed to being sliding windows. A sliding window is inherently more air leakage than a hinged window. And again, you know, they didn't use sliding patio doors in the home. They went with hinged. They're a lot more readily get a good air seal when they're closed. Some other things we used, the air-to-air heat exchanger used relatively efficient DC motors for it. Back in 1992, it was really hard to get very efficient appliances. We couldn't find a front-loading washing machine, for example, at that time. And now there's a lot more available. Compact fluorescent lighting. I've started changing over some of our compact fluorescents to these light-emitting diode lamps. And I think there's one going around the room here, which is an example there. And I was at the Superstore the other day, and there was one for about $12 or $13 now. So the price has come down quite a bit. They have a 25,000 hour life. I think it was a Sylvania product. And certainly these ones give a very nice light in the room here. This is actually a fairly difficult place to light because you've got a very dark floor, dark walls, and so there's not a lot of reflected light off the walls and sink around the floor.
Is there a purpose for having such a dark wall?
I think it's just what's currently trendy, you know, with paint colors. And it's amazing. I was up in giving some talks in Newvik, and you walk into this restaurant, and it was like walking into Manos, you know, here in town. I mean, the architect must all read the same magazine. It's very amazing the way design is replicated across the world. And this color palette now is very popular. Now, one of the things we did on our house, we have a detached garage, and at the time, the photovoltaic panels were very, very expensive. Now they're just very expensive. And but we did orient the garage so we can add the photovoltaic panels at a later date. And I'm kind of a scrounger. I'm always looking on eBay and stuff, looking for maybe some used panels around. So my wife and I bought a Toyota Prius, but we didn't buy a new one. We got one that's 2 years old. And, keep an eye on Auto Trader. We saved about $10,000 by buying a used one. And the energy that goes into building is very substantial, and so by using products that have low embodied energy, then you reduce the overall impact of the building and construction.
Is it possible to install air exchangers in an older home?
Most older homes tend to get enough ventilation already from, the leaking doors and windows and electrical outlets. And,
So they don't
yeah, they don't tend to need it, no. Some other lessons we learned, again, the insulation and passive features work very well. And there are now better windows available with better low E coatings. And this building here does actually have a better performing low emissivity coating. And again, more efficient appliances. In fact, we're now just renewing our appliances, which we're getting, they're 18 years old.
So where are your windows manufactured?
The ones in my house are low one. I think these ones are Ply Gem. I don't think either of them are made in Saskatchewan. I think Lowen has a plant in Steinbach, Manitoba, but I'm not sure where.
I think Legend is in Edmonton.
Edmonton? No. Another project that I was involved with was the Factory 9 home, and it was built in Regina in 2007, and it was designed to use 90% less energy and 50% less water than the average 1970s Saskatchewan home. And the homeowner wanted a very conventional appearance to the home. This is the north side of the house, and it doesn't look different at all from conventional. And why do we call it Factory 9? Globally, we're in a situation where we have about 6.7 billion people. And the demographers tell us that they're probably going to increase by about 50% before it stabilizes. And there's a lot of very poor people in the world, and on average, consumption is probably going to grow by a factor of about 3 before it stabilizes. And the climate scientists are telling we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by a factor of 2. So if you multiply those figures together, you've got to get things 9 times better than they are right now in terms of energy efficiency. This is the back side of the house, and there are windows here, 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 and here, I think. And then this band along here is the where the solar heating panels are located, so they're vertical instead of being tilted at an angle. And